I'm going to show you exactly where you can go to get music to produce your very own podcast intro. Well, one of the first things that really makes up a podcast intro is a music bed. Now, you can't just use any old music in a podcast intro. You need to use pod-safe music. And that's why I've taken you to this website, opuzz.com. That's OPUZZ.com. They specialize in royalty-free music. So what does that mean? Well, that basically means that you pay a small fee for a music bed that you can then play as many times as you like, as often as you like. And so we can include that in our podcast intro. So opuzz.com, they've got a whole bunch of genres down here, and they've got thousands and thousands of music tracks. But let's say we have a dance podcast. So we just click on the Dance Electronic tab, and this is going to bring up a whole bunch of music tracks in that genre. Let's have a listen because we can preview on this little button here. Okay, so let's say we listen to that for 30 seconds or whatever and we decide that we like it. The next thing that we can do is click on More Info and select our cut. So what does a cut mean? Well, a cut refers to length. So you can get different lengths of the same track for different prices. For example, if you have a look here, you can get a stinger cut for $2.99. Now, a stinger basically lasts for 3 to 5 seconds, so that's probably a bit too short for our podcast intro. You've got 10 seconds for $4.99, 15 seconds for $9.99, and then 30 seconds, 60 seconds onwards and upwards. So the longer your cut, obviously the more expensive it's going to be. So that's the very first step to getting your own podcast intro, a music bed. But truth be told, just a music bed for a podcast intro generally isn't enough. If you're really serious about producing a professional sounding podcast, then you want a music bed blended with a voiceover and some sound effects. And you want something that is professionally produced. Now, if this sounds like something you could be interested in, then you may want to check out my website, howtomakepodcastlikeapro.com/podcast-intro. You see, after being in radio for 15 years, I spend most of my time these days producing professional broadcast quality podcast intros for my clients from all over the world. And when you go to this page, you'll hear a bunch of recent podcast intros that my team and I have produced, plus some pretty amazing testimonials and comments as well, and then some packages and how we can actually help you. So go and check it out, howtomakepodcastlikeapro.com/podcast-intro.